Throughout the course of history, nations have built large armies to expand their power and influence, to protect their borders or for other purposes. These armies have played an important role not only through their military capacity, but also through their cultural, political, and strategical influence. The greatest armies in the world have varied both numerically and characteristically, witnessing the rise and fall of various civilizations. In this video, we will take a look at top 10 biggest armies in the history. Number 10. Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire's rich and historically deep army holds an important place in world history. Its unique structure and strategies were one of the keystones of the Ottoman Empire's success. One of the most characteristic features of the Ottoman army was the Janissary Corps. Janissaries were a military class consisting of young men recruited from Christian communities. Trained, disciplined, and loyal, this unit played an important role not only in warfare, but also in maintaining the internal order of the state. One of the tactics of the Ottoman army was a flexible and rapid order of battle known as the crew formation. In this formation, soldiers could move quickly as needed and target the enemy's weak points. Furthermore, the Ottoman army was able to develop versatile battle strategies by effectively integrating different military units such as archers and cavalry. The Ottoman army faced various enemies across a wide geography, from the Balkans to the Middle East and Europe. Number 9. Macedonian Empire. The army of the Macedonian Empire reached its peak under the leadership of Alexander the Great, who carved an unforgettable place in history. Alexander's strategic intelligence and the unique structure of his army created one of the most influential and powerful forces in the ancient world. The Macedonian army was known for its unique military system, the phalanx. The phalanx consisted of a dense line of heavily armed infantry soldiers facing the enemy. This formation used long spears and large shields to block the enemy's advance. With this formation, the Macedonian army was able to successfully implement both defensive and offensive strategies. However, the greatest strength of the Macedonian army was its cavalry units. Horse archers and heavy cavalry represented the flexibility and speed of Alexander's army. Alexander skillfully used these cavalry units to break enemy lines, pursue retreats, and maneuver. This approach helped him gain the upper hand on the battlefield. Number 8. Spanish Empire. From the great discoveries that shaped the course of history to a global empire, the Spanish Empire's military was an extraordinary force. The Spanish army played a key role in the rise and expansion of the Spanish Empire, establishing an effective presence in both Europe and the New World. The Spanish army was renowned for its superior discipline and military traditions. Like many empires, the Spanish Empire placed a great emphasis on infantry units. Infantry soldiers were usually armed with short spears and swords and were trained to move under strict discipline to counter enemy lines. But one of the most remarkable aspects of the Spanish army was the small number of Spanish cavalry units used during the conquest of the New World. Highly skilled horsemen, the Spanish cavalry made a great impression on the indigenous peoples of the New World and played a critical role in the success of exploration. Number 7. Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire emerged as one of the largest and most influential empires in history. Born out of the harsh steppes, the Mongols' warrior culture and unique strategies helped their empire rise and leave its mark on world history. The Mongols' warrior traditions were shaped from childhood by training in warfare and horsemanship. Mongol warriors, who acquired horse riding skills at a young age, laid the foundation for a highly mobile and fast army. This training formed the basis of the Mongol army's unique and effective tactics. Genghis Khan, the most famous leader of the Mongol Empire, transformed the Mongol army into a disciplined, flexible, and fearsome force. On the battlefield, Genghis Khan was characterized by strategic genius and leadership skills. By combining horse archers, cavalry, and tactical acumen, the Mongol army was able to overwhelm its enemies with astonishing speed and efficiency. Number 6. Roman Empire. The army of the Roman Empire was one of the most effective and disciplined forces in the ancient world. The empire shaped the course of history not only through its territorial extent, but also through its organizational skills and military engineering capabilities. The Roman army was known for its unique military formations. These formations, called numerically, were aimed at providing flexibility and tactical advantage on the battlefield. Infantry soldiers, armed with spears and short swords, were trained to engage the enemy at both close and long range. This tactic was effective for breaking and disorganizing enemy lines. The Roman army also formed into units called legions. Each legion consisted of about 4,800 to 6,000 soldiers and included different types of infantry and mounted units. With this structure, the Roman army had the ability to adapt to various battle conditions. The Roman Empire's army was notable not only for its fighting power, but also for its expertise in military engineering. Roman soldiers demonstrated their skills in engineering projects such as sieges of fortresses and bridge building. These skills enabled the Roman army to excel not only in warfare, but also in infrastructure and communications. Number 5. Great Britain. Great Britain's military has been remarkable throughout history, with a rich history and changes in various eras. The combination of tradition and innovation has shaped the fundamental characteristics of Great Britain's military and played a significant role on the world stage. Throughout history, the British Army has been recognized for its discipline and professionalism. It has been a constant force in war and peace, responding to the defense and conflict needs of Great Britain's overseas colonies. The Army has been involved in conflicts in various geographies around the world, resulting in the adoption of different warfare strategies and tactics. Tactical flexibility and speed were important in the history of the British Army, particularly during the Napoleonic Wars. During this period, the square tactic was an effective defensive formation used against cavalry attacks. Such tactics aimed to provide effective defense by breaking the enemy's attacks. Following the Industrial Revolution, Great Britain's army turned to modernization. Advances in technology and weapons production increased the capabilities of the army. Particularly during World War I and World War II, the British Army had to adapt to modern warfare to a large extent, making tactical and strategic transformations as warfare demanded. Number 4. French Empire. Napoleon Bonaparte's army marked a brilliant era in history with strategic genius and revolutionary ambitions that transcended warfare. Napoleon transformed the French army in the wake of the French Revolution, becoming a figure who shaped not only the military sphere but also world history. In reorganizing his army, Napoleon brought together various elements. Fast-moving infantry units, mounted cavalry, and artillery units formed the basis of his war strategies. Thanks to their ability to move quickly and flexibly, Napoleon's army was able to overwhelm enemies with surprising speed and precision. Following the French Revolution, the army under Napoleon's leadership embraced the principle of social equality. Ordinary men had the opportunity to rise up the ranks, depending on their ability and diligence. This approach resulted in high army morale and loyalty. Another area in which Napoleon gained fame was his innovations in artillery tactics. Artillery units were placed in strategic positions on the battlefield, aiming to weaken enemy lines. This tactic changed the course of the war and helped Napoleon's victories. Number 3. Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany's army, the Wehrmacht, was one of the most effective and complex military forces of World War II. It was disciplined and organized, equipped with high-tech weaponry. The Wehrmacht left a deep mark on history with both its military skills and its intimidating influence. One of the most striking features of the Wehrmacht was the blitzkrieg tactic. This tactic aimed to surprise the enemy and bring the war to a quick conclusion by making rapid and intense attacks on enemy lines. The coordination of air power, armored units, and fast-moving infantry formed the basis of this tactic. The Wehrmacht was also known for its superior performance in tank warfare. Compared to other armies, Germany's tank design and production offered more efficient and innovative technologies. Panzer tanks were known for their fast mobility and powerful armament, and were central to Nazi Germany's war strategy. Number 2. Soviet Union. As a product of revolutionary ideology and collective effort, the Army of the Soviet Union left a deep mark on world history. The Soviet Army, also known as the Red Army, stood out as one of the world's largest and most effective military forces during and after World War II. The foundations of the Army of the Soviet Union were laid after the October Revolution of 1917. The Red Army served not only as a military force, but also as the guardian of the revolution. Beyond defending the borders of the Soviet Union, it also represented the spread of socialism. One of the most important aspects of the Soviet Army was its ability to defend the borders of the Soviet Union. The Red Army was intended to deal with major wars and conflicts through its ability to mobilize millions of soldiers. This mass mobilization played a critical role in increasing the Soviet Union's resistance to Germany during World War II. Number 1. United States of America. The United States military has played an important role on the world stage, operating in defense of freedom and democracy at different periods of history. The American military is a force at the forefront of both staying true to tradition and embracing technological innovation. The origins of the American military date back to the founding of the United States. The militia forces that emerged in the War of Independence later formed the basis of the United States Army. The creation of this army reflected America's commitment to the struggle for independence and its democracy. During World War I and World War II, the military played a leading role in the development of tanks, airplanes, submarines, and other weapons systems. The U.S. military has consistently made efforts to ensure that military equipment and weapons systems meet advanced technological standards. The variety of the American military is also an important feature. Throughout history, people from different cultures, ethnic groups, and regions have been part of the American military. This diversity has made the military well-rounded and equipped with different skills and perspectives. In this video, we learn details of greatest armies throughout the history. If you liked the video, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing to our channel. See you in the next videos.